Hello everyone, it's Love My Anime, and in this video I'm going to teach you all how to play Cardfight Vanguard. In my last video, I showed you guys everything you need to know about the Vanguard playing field. And now in this video, I will show you how to actually play the game.
Now that we know the field setup, let's get into how to actually play the game. When playing Vanguard, we all use our imaginations. And on the planet Cray, where all the units live, you are controlling the battle. But not just that, you yourself becomes the Vanguard. And the Vanguard always leads the way. So getting started, we first start out in our weakest form. This is where you search your deck for your grade 0 for runner and place it face down. Now you both draw 5 cards. And right here is where you can put back as many cards from your hand back into your deck as you want and redraw the same amount. In the ideal hand, you want to have from grades 1, 2, and 3 in your hand. So I'm going to put back 2 cards. Shuffle my deck. And I draw 2 cards. Now this is where we decide who goes first. You can flip a coin, you can play rock, paper, scissors, or as me and my friend like to do it, we look at the bottom of our decks and whoever has the highest number gets to choose who goes first. Since my Neonectar has the highest number, I'm going to decide that the other player will go first. And of course we always shuffle our decks after. Now both players flip over their churned down cards and we both say, stand up the Vanguard. And this is where the cards get flipped over. So my opponent goes first. The stages are stand. Since the Vanguard's already standing, we skip this churn, draw 1 card, and now we ride onto the next grade. We make ourselves stronger by going from grade 0 to a grade 1. Now if we used any regular grade 0, our card would be stuck in the soul as it is now. But since the grade 0 had a 4 runner, it has the ability to come out of the soul and be placed in any of the bottom rear guard circles. And usually it's best to put it under your Vanguard so that it can help boost your Vanguard when attacking. Right here is also where you can call down your rear guards. But you can only call down cards that are the same grade as your Vanguard or lower. Because remember, your Vanguard is the one that leads the way. So my opponent doesn't have cards that she can call down. And since she's going first, she also does not get to attack. And this is what she says, I end my turn. Now it's my turn, so I stand. My Vanguard's already standing. I draw 1 card and I ride to the next grade, being a 1. And I pull down my 4 runner so it's underneath. Now I'm in my main phase. I can call down any other cards I want if I wish to, or I can go straight into the battle phase, where I turn my Vanguard and rearguard sideways, the rearguard boosting the Vanguard, so 7 plus 5, I'm attacking 12,000 to my opponent's 6,000 Vanguard. Now here is where I wait and see if my opponent will guard against my attack. And if he or she does not want to guard, then he or she will say no guard. No guard. Now she waits for me to do my drive check. And a drive check always happens only when your Vanguard attacks. So I reveal the top card of my deck and then put it in my hand. Your drive check is where your triggers gets activated, as I mentioned in a previous video. Since she did not guard, now she does her damage check. So she flips over the top of her card and places it in the damage zone. Now I say I end my turn. It is now my opponent's turn. So her Vanguard's already standing. She draws a card and rides to the next level, being a grade 2 now. Now she can call down cards. After the right phase, she's now in her main phase. So she can call down cards and use any of their skills, such as her rear guard skill. When it's placed, she gets to soul charge 2. The main phase is usually where the game takes the longest, because this is where people usually try to think of how they can make their Vanguard and rear guards powerful by using multiple skills. My opponent thinks, and she's going to use her Barmaid Grey skill to rest, Counterblast 1, Soul Charge 2, and she can choose either her Vanguard or rear guard, and they get plus 1,000 for every card in her soul. She has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5,000. She's gonna give the 5,000 to her rear guard. Now that she's done with all her skills, she can choose to attack with the Vanguard first, or she can choose to attack with the rear guard first. She's going to attack with the rear guard first. So since it had plus 5,000, she is attacking 14,000 to my 7,000 Vanguard. I'm going to guard against that with this 10,000 shield, making my Vanguard 17,000 and higher than her attacking power. And anything that you place on the guard circle goes to the drop zone, unless it has a skill where it goes back into your hand or into your soul. Now she attacks with her Vanguard and waits for me to either guard or say no guard. No guard. The reason why I say no guard is because I need damage in order to have counterblasts. Now she does her drive check. There's no trigger and a card goes into her hand. And I do my damage check. No trigger, it goes to the damage zone. And as she sees she has nothing else to do, she says, I end my turn. Now it is my turn again. I stand up my cards, draw one card, and ride to the next grade. Now I can call down cards, making sure it's the same grade or lower. And I'm ready to go into my battle phase. So 9 plus 7 16 to the Vanguard. Now I could also attack her rear guard as well. If she doesn't guard, the rear guard will simply go to her drop zone, but she will not take any damage. She decides to not guard and simply takes damage. Now I'm going to attack with my Vanguard for 14,000 against her 9,000 Vanguard. Once again, she can either say no guard or guard herself. So she's going to attempt to guard with 19,000. I do one drive check and I got a trigger. It's a heal trigger. I can give the plus 5,000 to my Vanguard, and which means my opponent's guard failed. However, I cannot heal as I have less damage than my opponent, and this card goes to my hand. Since her attack failed, as usual, any cards on the G guard circle goes to the drop zone, and she takes 1 damage. Now I would say I end my turn. So those are the basic steps of playing Cardfight Vanguard. Stand, draw, ride, call, main phase skills, battle, any end phase skills, and then the end turn. No guard. Since she's on a grade 3 now, she gets to do 2 drive checks. Drive check 1, critical trigger. Critical to my Vanguard, power to the rear guard. Drive check 2. Since she got a critical, I have to take 2 damage. Damage check 1, damage check 2. Stand trigger, plus 5,000, but she's already done with all her attacks. I end my turn. Now it's my turn again. I stand, draw, and ride onto the next grade, being the final 3rd grade. Now, if you do not have a grade 3, or the grade that comes after your Vanguard's grade, then you do not have to ride. It is not a necessary step. In fact, some people stay on a grade 2 in order to stop the opponent from using their grade 4s, because a grade 4 G unit cannot be used unless both Vanguards are on a grade 3. However, if you do not have a grade 3 to ride on, or the grade you need, you can do what's called a G assist. But I'm going to show you how a G assist is done in a separate video. So, I ride with my grade 3, and now, since both of us are on a grade 3, I can do what's called a stride. And you kind of think of a stride as a mega evolution that happens 1 time per turn. And at the end of turn, your Vanguard goes back to normal. So, in order to stride use a grade 4 from my G zone, I have to pay the cost. And to do that, I have to get rid of a grade 3 card, a grade 2 and a grade 1 that equals a grade 3, or sometimes some cards will have a special skill that says when this card is in your hand, it gets an additional +2 grade, making it a grade 3. So I take this card and discard it into the drop zone, and now I get to choose whichever grade 4 I want to ride with. I'm going to ride with Governing Flower Princess Selfina. Now is where the stride skill happens, right when your G unit is placed on Vanguard. You can either choose to do the stride skill or you can skip it. I'm going to skip my stride skill. Call down Charles. This has to be standing up as well. Now I'm going to do my Vanguard skill, or Selfina skill. Counterblast 1. Flip one of her over. And I get to choose one of my rear guards and search for one card with the same card name as her. I want to search for Charles. And call her right here. For my Neonectar deck, they have an ability called Bloom, and a bloom happens when the same card as another card is placed on the field. So Charles' Bloom activates, and she can give any card I want +4000 plus a boost. I'm just going to give the +4000 to this Charles. And I'm all done with doing my skills in my main phase. Now I attack. I'm gonna start by attacking 9, 10, 11, 12, 13,000 to her rear guard. Now I can choose to either attack with the Vanguard first or the rear guard. I'm gonna attack with my rear guard next. Now I attack with my Vanguard, and since I'm using a grade 4, grade 4s get 3 drive checks. Alright, she said no guard, so 3 drive checks. Drive check 1, critical trigger. Critical to my Vanguard, power to Charles. Drive check 2, heal trigger. Power to Charles, and since we have the same amount, I can heal 1. And drive check 3. Damage check 1, she got a heal trigger. So since she has more than me, she can heal 1. And this goes to the damage zone. And damage check 2. A critical trigger. Both the heal and critical trigger would give her opponent +5000 power. However, since I'm not attacking anymore, it doesn't do anything. And now, since I have nothing else to do, I say I end my turn. My G unit goes face up. And that's the end of my turn, and it is now my opponent's turn. Retire one. Retire one again. This card is now on 25,000. Buffs their skill from the soul. Second buffs their skill from the soul. Card cannot, the skill can't be activated. $25 to the Vanguard. No guard. Plus 5,000. 51 to your Vanguard with a critical. Now here is also where you can use a G Guardian. A G Guardian is basically a really big shield. To use a G Guardian, you have to discard a heal trigger. And G Guardians are great fours that are, instead of being red, having a red border, they have a green border. I'm going to G Guard with Sacred Tree Dragon and use my G Guardian skill. When it's placed down, I can place down any card I want on my field and it gets plus 5,000. So now this is a 20,000, 31. I'm going to G Guard again. So I'm guarding for 61 against my opponent's 51 attack. So she needs 2 triggers to pass my shield. Alright, so she does her drive checks. Drive check 1. Critical trigger. Power and critical to the Vanguard. Drive check 2. Heal trigger. Power to the Vanguard and she gets to heal 1. And drive check 3. Critical trigger. Power and critical to the Vanguard. So unfortunately my shield failed miserably and I have to take not 1 but 3 damage since my opponent got 2 criticals. Actually 4 damage because my opponent's Vanguard already had an extra critical on it. Now let's see if I get a heal trigger. Damage check 1. Damage check 2. A heal trigger. Heal trigger goes here and I heal 1 card. Damage check 3. And last one, damage check for a critical trigger. And unfortunately, I lost the game because I took 6 damage. And the way you win the game is by getting the opponent to 6 damage. So I would shake my opponent's hand and say, congratulations, good game. So that was the basics of playing Cardfight Vanguard. Sometimes you can get really lucky and get good triggers on your drive checks. And other times you might not get so lucky. These games can go on for up to 10 turns until someone finally wins, or someone could win on the 5th turn instead. But always remember that the phases of the game are always the same. You stand, draw, ride to the next grade. Once you're on a grade 3, you can choose to pay the cost to stride and use a grade 4, or if you do not have any cards to pay the cost for a grade 4, then you go into doing any main phase skills you have. After the main phase skill, you do your battle phase, where you attack one at a time and wait for your opponent to guard or not guard. And after your Vanguard attacks, you do your drive checks, and your opponent does his or her damage checks, or if the attack did not go through, she or he skips damage check. And the process is repeated. And that, my friends, is how you play Cardfight Vanguard. Well, that is it, my friends. Thank you so much for watching another one of my videos. If you liked it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and comment down below if you have any requests on a future video you would like me to do. Also, if this is your first time watching one of my videos, please do me a favor and click that subscribe button down below and the little notification bell as well, so that you can know the next time I upload a video. And thank you all for anyone who donates to my Patreon. It means so much to me, guys. And remember, I'm making these videos just for you.